What's up, y'all? I'm back, or at least I'm trying to be back. You know, I put out some music for y'all to hear that I made, but now I'm trying to get with these, what are these videos? Here's a documentary of Black history, mainly from older people at my church. It's just questions on, like, how it was for them when they were growing up in either the South or just being up here in Boston, and just how they've grown from it and what they've witnessed. And you know, some advice for the younger kids, because you know, we need advice. I was supposed to drop a new Mission Wrestling Entertainment video, and I just saw I still have those clips, so you know.
You ready for those?
No further ado, I just want to shout out my father. He recorded some of the video, I recorded a lot of it, and I was like, you know what, just because I put it together, I might as well drop it. So this is the first big video that I've done, so let's get into it.
Before we get into it for real, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with your family, your friends, anybody. Now let's get into it.
Sister Henrietta Pettaway, you were born in 1998 on January the 6th.
1918.
1918? January the 6th.
Yeah.
You're 100 years old. Look at God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
And I ain't trying to be young and don't want to be young. I thank God for bringing me this far.
Yes, ma'am. Now, where were you born?
Camden, Alabama.
Camden, Alabama.
And it's on the other side of Montgomery.
Yes, ma'am. How you get to Boston?
My children said for me.
Oh,
Nell and me.
okay. What, you remember what year that was? What year?
No, God, no, I forgot. I used to know.
Yes.
Kept up with it what year I come up here. I don't know now.
Now, what did you do in Alabama?
Pick cotton and hold in the field, that's all I do. I worked in the White House Hospital.
What do you remember about down south when you were growing up?
When I was growing up,
Yeah, what do you remember?
nothing but working in hard in the field.
Worked hard.
I was working, I don't know when I was 6 or 7 years old, I was working in the field. That's the biggest work I done.
Do you remember the civil rights when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was in Alabama, Selma?
Yeah. Dr. Martin came across the river when I left from down there. He called it Jeansville, across the river. He was over there.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
And he come to my hometown, Cameron. He come there, and some of my children was in, when men got in the marshal, and he'd go coming through Cameron. They didn't want him to do it, but he did.
He did it? Yeah.
Yeah, he is
How many children do you have?
11 living.
11 living.
I raised 11 kids
Wow, that's amazing. Do you remember when you were first able to vote?
to vote.
Yes, ma'am. For the
But
president.
I didn't vote. I voted when I come up here.
To Boston?
I don't know what year it was now.
Okay.
But I have been voting since I've been up here in Quinn. But I used to vote down both.
Yes, ma'am. Now, how did it make you feel when you had the right to vote?
Made me feel all right.
All right. Okay. Now tell me, how did you feel when President Barack Obama became the president?
How did I feel?
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't do nothing about it. Felt all right.
Felt all right? That was history, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? A black man finally is the president?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Hi. What's your name?
Estella Anderson,
Better known as Mother Anderson of New Hope. Where were you born and what year?
in Casitas, Georgia.
Casitas.
CUSSETA.
What year?
11/27/29.
All right. All right. And you are a member of New Hope, right?
Right.
Can you tell me how long you've been a member of New Hope?
50 years anyway.
Can you give us a little bit of history about New Hope?
New Hope was located at 600 Sharmat Avenue. They had just moved from Lenox Street in a storefront. They moved into a storefront at 616 Sharmat Avenue. And they stayed there until, I don't remember the year. Because New Hope was the first black church that was built from the ground.
Wow, never knew that. And what positions did you hold at New Hope those years?
I
you
was
were
a Sunday school teacher. I was a BYPU teacher. And I was the clerk of the church.
How many pastors did you see go through that at that time?
Reverend Brown was the first one, and he died from a heart attack. Then Reverend Meadows came, and he stayed there until they voted, the membership voted him out. Reverend Bryson was the assistant then. Then the church made him pastor.
Okay.
And after him came Reverend Dubose. After Reverend Dubose came Reverend Sims.
Yeah, yeah. What are your feelings around having the first black president, Obama?
I was
Barack
elated.
Obama. He was elated from it, right? Did you ever think that that would ever happen in the United States? All this that you got to see from Georgia throughout all these years. Did you ever think that that would ever happen?
For having
For
a
a black president, yes.
Well, really, I didn't think it would happen, but it did happen, and I was happy.
Yes, yes.
That show you the changes that has gone through from the time that I came up until the present time when he was elected president.
Do you think that that changed the way for some black people to see a black president?
Yes, it did.
Do you feel it gave them hope?
Oh, it gave all of us hope.
Mother Anderson, tell me about your parents and who raised you.
My mother worked as a maid in the white people's kitchen. My grandfather and grandmother raised us. We was on a farm way back in the woods. My grandfather, as I said, whatsoever we raised, we had to give half of it to the white guy because it was his land, and we tilled it and made the crops.
Yeah.
And at that time, cotton was very, what would you say?
Popular.
What, huh?
Popular.
Popular.
Expensive. It was
the
money.
crop of the land.
Yeah.
Probably.
The white man got all of the cotton. We didn't have any. But the rest of the stuff we had to share with them, like the peas and the corn and potatoes.
After you guys have picked them,
After we planted them and raised them,
they got to take them from you.
we picked them and we had to give them half of it.
So with that being said, so you never got to see, what about if they shut the school down or if there's any riots going on in that state? How did your family protect you? Or protect your family, you and your siblings?
We wasn't in that part of the state where all that went on.
Yeah. And if it was, what would they do? What?
We would have stayed home.
Yeah. Stayed home. And did you guys have a radio back then? Did you hear things
No.
like broadcasting? How
No.
did you find out any information about what was going on with the rioting and the Martin Luther King things back in the 50s and 60s? How did you hear about that?
Well, see, we was in the country, and when they went in town, they would get the news there.
Okay.
People would be on the corners talking about it.
Oh, okay. But there wasn't no newspapers and...
It was a newspaper.
It was
We
a
did get a
newspaper.
newspaper.
Okay.
My grandfather did pay for having a newspaper.
Delivered to the house?
They delivered it to the post office, and we had to go to the post office to get it.
Okay. Okay. And so that's how you got some of the information in. A lot of it was like through hearsay when you went in town.
Right. Yeah.
And that was when you were trading things?
What do you mean
when
trade?
y'all- not trading, I'm sorry.
Share.
When you were, had to give up the fruits and vegetables that you guys have grown, that's when you would go to the town and see, and that's how you got the news, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then how long did your family stay on that farm? How long did you stay on that farm?
Until they couldn't,
Like
wasn't
what age
able
were
to
you?
keep
What-
it up.
Do you remember what age were you?
Huh?
What age were you? Can you remember how old you were when that happened? When you
But see,
finally
what
left?
happened was when we got to be like teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother told my mother, I can't keep all these girls. I was 4 girls there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my sister and my 2 cousins.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I can't, and I didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
So my mother had to come and get me and my sister,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to go in town with her.
Okay.
She had a room
Mm-hmm.
where we all slept at.
Mm-hmm.
She would get up early in the morning, put on her uniform, and go to the white folks' house and make their breakfast and clean up and cook, wash clothes, iron, and all that stuff. She was the maid.
When did you come to Massachusetts?
When I was in junior high,
And who did you come with?
my mother,
Oh, what city did you live in?
Air.
In Air, Mass. Okay. And do you recall any type of racism in that city when you moved in there?
Yeah, but they tried to sweep it under the rug
Mm-hmm.
because we were the only and the first black was there going to school. It was all white.
And how did you feel? How do you remember feeling being in a school with only selective blacks? Did
I
you
never thought of it.
never thought of it? Never got mistreated? Never got...
No, because see, when we knew how to play basketball, and they had never won a tournament from no other schools in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And when me and my sister come there, we put them right on the top.
All right, all right.
And if we hadn't moved from Air here, the white parents that had kids in the school that was in the basketball team, they was planning on doing a big fundraiser to raise money so me and my sister could go to college.
Praise God. Could y'all put them on the map? They weren't winners. They weren't winning until
No.
you guys joined and came with some skills to the team.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then did you have any friendships with any of the other females who were Caucasian? Did you
With the
interact
one that
with
was
them
on the
on the
basketball.
basketball team? How did they treat you in the locker rooms or when you were around? Did
They-
they treat you different?
No,
Wow.
it was good because we was putting them on the top.
Wow.
They had never won a tournament or nothing
Right.
until we got on the team.
What's your name?
My name is Aaron Bennett.
And where were you born?
I was born in Pineville, South Carolina,
What year?
1928.
Wow. Can you tell us something that you experienced growing up as an African American male in the United States?
Well, I was born in a family of my father, and I went to school, At the time, nobody went to school but black people.
What do you remember growing up as a kid, as a young man, growing up? You said you went to a school with all black. That means it was segregated. So how did that make you feel that you couldn't go to the other schools with the white children?
Oh, I had white friends too, but they would always ask me, why don't I go to their school? That's a question I couldn't answer because,
But they wouldn't let you. Okay. So how did you get into the, how did you feel when President Obama became the first black president?
Oh, he was, I think he, well, I can say because I voted for him anyway.
All right.
And that was history to me, you know.
Was it exciting?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Made you happy?
Yeah, oh yeah. Tell you.
Now, tell me, is there anything, you say you grew up on a farm, is there anything that you want to share with our young people today that happened when you were growing up that they don't have to do now, or anything you want to share with them?
Well, no, not exactly, but when I was growing up, my father taught me a lot about baseball. I went to Jersey.
Okay.
And I went to Jersey and got on a couple of baseball teams. And people came around and they wanted, you know, they wanted me to play. So
What position did you play?
I played the outfield.
Outfield?
Yeah, and relief pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could you play?
I think so.
I'm sure you did. So how did you end up on the National Negro League?
Well, they came and wanted to know if they could talk to my parents, but my parents wasn't there.
Right.
So they had to talk to my uncle. And they wanted me to play for Rahway Red Sox. And all I wanted to do was play, you know.
Yes.
One thing I didn't ask about is what they was going to pay me. I played for the fun of it.
Yes.
And that was the only thing that I regret.
They didn't pay you?
No, they didn't pay me.
What? And you were good?
I played for the fun of it.
For the fun of it.
That's all. I had a lot of things happen to me going to Pennsylvania. Like Pennsylvania was you don't hear too much about, you don't hear too much about Pennsylvania news or anything like that. But they were very,
Prejudice?
yes, prejudiced.
That's the word we're looking for.
You couldn't go in the joint. I call it the joint.
Yeah.
And buy a sandwich and eat it. You have to go around to the back.
I know.
At the window, you know.
Yes.
And a lot of time I went home hungry because I didn't want to do that.
Amazing. How did you get to Boston?
Boston?
Yes.
Well, I went to the Army from Jersey.
Okay.
And when I got out of the Army, I couldn't play like I used to. So I came to Boston. I had a friend in Boston. I came to Boston, and one thing I could do, I played football, the
Okay.
Roxbury Panthers.
I didn't know that.
I'd done that for a few years. Matter of fact, a friend of mine, we played together. He's the president of the Mail Court right now, Heckler.
Really?
Yeah. And I played with them for a while. And because I couldn't play baseball like that. When I went in the Army was segregated.
Yes.
Yeah. The first time I went to integrated outfit, it was in Korea.
Wow.
I spent 8 months in Korea, combat.
You could fight, but you couldn't eat with them. You couldn't sleep with them.
Well, I learned how to fight. I learned that, and you know, everybody, all my teachers was black.
Okay.
And I went to Korea, and I got in this outfit with black and white. And I really, well, I done everything. When I got hurt, they gave me a, Purple Heart and
All right.
all that.
So you're a war veteran, an alumni from the National Negro Baseball League. You've had a great life.
Oh yeah, a terrible life.
My name is Jesse Milton, and
Where are you from?
and my home is in Alabama. I came to Boston in 1947, and I love I love Jesus, and God knows I love Jesus. I always go to church at my hometown. I came to Boston, I still go to church.
Where was your hometown?
Alabama, Selma, Alabama. And when I came to Boston in 1947, they was building New Hope, 600 Sherman Avenue, and J.B. Johnson was the next door. He only could hold like 5 caskets. And I would go to Concord Baptist Church and New Hope and Timothy Baptist and Concord Baptist, different churches around, chosen where I would make my church home.
All right.
So I chose New Hope, and I made a good choice. I enjoyed New Hope for all the years I've been there.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
My family, all 9 of my family, 6 boys and 3 girls, all 9 of us were living in Boston at one time.
Oh, wow.
Now there's only 4 of us, and all the others passed.
Brother Milton, did you experience any challenges growing up? Like being in the South?
That's what?
Any challenges being in the South? Any racism?
Oh, I experienced a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I had a hard time coming up because down in Alabama, the white man didn't like the black man. You didn't have a lot of privilege and opportunity that we should have.
Right.
And but we go out of that, find even a lot of praise here in Massachusetts. And today is more praise in Massachusetts, in northern state, than it is down south. You go down south, they treat you like a king. Mr. Milton give you your address and take you different places, you enjoy it. Yeah.
So tell us about your hobbies. What do you like to do? You told us you like to sing.
I love Jesus, and God knows that. But
so besides singing,
I like sports.
Sports?
Yeah, but I don't like football because I don't know what you mean by touchdown. But I like basketball, baseball, and other sports.
You do?
Yeah.
Talking about New Hope and the history of New Hope, and you being the mother of New Hope Baptist Church at this time, is there anything you would want to tell the women's ministry? Something to, words of wisdom or encouragement for young and young adult women coming up in the ministry? Like, what would you tell us as women from a mother's perspective? Something that we
Make
can
sure
grow
that
on.
you know Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And that will be your guidepost. Knowing Jesus Christ as the Savior of your soul. To the young people, make sure you stick together. And make sure that the changes is for the betterment of everybody, not only the black.
I like for young people to go and try some kind of sport. I like sports.
Just love Jesus with all your heart. Go to church. Have faith in that which you believe in.
I don't know nothing to tell because these folks don't listen to
They
you
don't
got to
listen
do
to
what they going
Oh.
But, I don't know what to tell them. I don't.
Trust God.
Huh?
Same God yesterday, today. If they trust God, they'll be all right.
That's right. Because you can't hardly tell them that the day they don't listen.
They won't listen.